Hey everyone, Justin Brawler here, and I'm giving you my review of Shokugeki and Soma Food Wars, the third dish, episode 7, The Crumbling Academy. And my god, this episode delivered on things that I wanted to see get animated, and it delivered perfectly, and more specifically, two things. I'll get to those two things in a minute, but first let's talk about how the episode goes down. Basically, we start off with Azami, Nagari Azami, basically giving up his live broadcasting wants to be changed to the new format when he finally takes over. So, all means that every class will most likely be different. Every recipe, every course will be completely changed in the size of him for his eye, and for things of dishes will be made worthy of the Elite 10 style. And since the Elite 10 makes these grandiose dishes, they most likely compare to the other students who are basically growing to make that. They're going to be making food worthy of the Elite 10 entirely. That means is that at regular classes are going to be, there's not the classes, the curriculum is going to be completely different, and things for unnecessary entities, more specific, he went from there to the unnecessary entities, which basically means some research society, the clubs of the school, like the Dawn RS, the Shinomi Lab, the research art, the Dawn RS, the Shinomi Lab, and etc. will all be taken down, will all be disbanded within like a 10 days-ish. And that lets you some students who are part of those clubs to further their cooking style and grow as chefs. But when they realize that their RSs will be shut down and the IS Central, eventually, no, actually I didn't. I probably should not have mentioned all that, but this was still going to be Central until like after I was done with this. But basically, all this will be going to under the eye of Zami and one of the Elite 10 who agree with it, and some faculty members known as Central, which led to this whole almost like a brainwashing to some students who went with Azami while the other students did not, which that almost like will go full down towards the end of the episode. I'll get to what I think, like to the part I'm referring to much later, but for now, everyone's going to stay in panic. But then he ultimately ends up the speech off with one of the most brainwashing methods of trying to tell the students that this is not going to be that much bad to them, but saying you are not cannon fodder, you are all rising up. You're not cannon fodder. You are important to the school, and you're going to continue rising something like that. I don't know exactly what the words were saying, but he basically said that you're not cannon fodder. You're not going to be exile or like pushed set aside for people in the background for those students who are growing more naturally than most. Like, let's say the other students who did well in the training camp are always going to push their side more because of the 8 freshmen who managed to become that good. So they're not cannon fodder to those guys. They're going to try to beat their own thing and basically leave from Azami's eyes, which led to them going along with Central, which ultimately leads to a whole army versus a small faction. Later on the line, come down. Further, we deal with that situation, and now we move on to the big heavy part of the episode. Was basically the deconstruction of the academy, of the ways of the way how it usually is in the social norm, led to the eyes of Zami, with all the resource societies being given evacuation notices within 10 days. But then one student saying, we're going to save this research society, the RS, by doing some Shokugeki, which Izan also knew fully well. And also, I'm going for this episode specifically made to make Izan one of the most despicable anime characters that any character in general in the world of anime and manga that you I'm pretty sure he is one of them. He's not the top 3 or top 5, but he's definitely one, if not one of the most despised anime characters for what he did in this episode and in the chapter that follows suit with it. Whereas he knew fully well the Shokugeki was going to be one thing that the students were going to use to get rallied behind, but he did one of the most, if not one of the most, evil things that anyone can do, or the most despicable things anyone can do in terms of competition, was to buy the judges to fix the matches. And everyone who's seen some sports, actually watches sports mostly from basketball, football, soccer, or anything, pretty sure everyone knows that fixed matches are basically one of the most bad things that anyone can do. Because let's say you're one team, especially or player or a team, depending on the sport, is better than the other person, but they want to prove their dominance, but prove the fact that they are the best. They'll rather some people play, like that person will pay the judges or the referee reward the situation for some very hefty coin, like a very shiny nickel here, in order to make sure that he or she wins their matches, leaving the other person completely nothing. Leaving the other person completely squashed. Izan does by providing 3 judges, specifically 3 specific judges, in order to make this Shokugeki fix. The way how he did it was basically, that's why they can hold all the cooking formalities, they can run through all of that, but when it was time to judge the food, they just did not even take a bite out of the opponent's dish. It's went with 3-0 score to Izan, it's to Itsuya, completely shaking off the reality of the fact that even if you do try to do a Shokugeki, most likely you're not going to get the result you wanted because I fought the judges. Your only saving grace of the Shokugeki is now officially dead. And right when the guy from the Skewer Research Society found that out, he did this face with a bit. He did like you get the thumbs down and the tongue taken out like this. He did like that. So it's too bad for you. This is reality now. I bought the judges. I fixed Shokugeki to favor for me. Even if you come at me with so many Shokugeki challenges, the result will be the same. I'll always win. And he did that with that look in his face, and just demolished anyone hope had left for a Shokugeki, which led to what someone decided to do. Instead of just someone being fearful, he decides to do something incredible. But leading up to that part, this is one reason the fact that someone challenged Itsuya. And the first was because it turns out the Polish dormitory, even though it's being the dormitory for the school of Suzuki Academy, it ends up being a complete eyesore to the eyes of Central, of Zami's curriculum or something like that. Not his curriculum, more like his way of school, way of student life, and decides to have that dormitory be demolished within 10 days. While the students had to be evacuated in those days in order to move forward. And seeing the fact that when I said it lived over 2 points, when there were 2 parts in this episode, what the anime delivered was part 1 of this episode. The first part, the emotional factor, seeing all the dormitory students just reconcile to the moments that they share together, from the dormitory to their school life as freshmen years and high schoolers, as first years, and coming on with someone from the train camp, from the entrance exam when they first got in, to the train camp from hell, to the moon, from the train camp to the moon festival, including the autumn elections, their summer break, the autumn elections, and to such ones in those part when someone got transferred into the school and joined up with dormitory students. They reminisce on those moments together they shared together for so long. They shared those moments for so long, since junior high school. As you can also tell from the first episode, naturally from the episode where you get firstly introduced to these characters, they already knew each other since basically middle school. Basically from middle school, while someone transferring from high school into the high school year. And seeing the fact that all the characters reminisce and remembering all their moments that they had, and seeing all of them seeing specifically the 3 girls, just crying out the fact that they all do not want to lose, and start with Yuki, just saying, I don't want to end this. I want to continue cooking with you guys. I want to do more of this. And realizing the fact that the dormitory is going to eventually get shut down. It eventually led to the moment where we're seeing the 3 girls cry, embracing each other, and the guys are just looking at the other, both not to see tears, but with the exception of the fact that this is reality now. This is hitting really hard. They're going to have to move forward and not see each other anymore. And realizing the fact that the only place they did that was the dormitory was going to be gone. It delivered the emotion rather than the music swelling in the background. It was just, I never felt that much pain when I first read it. And seeing the anime, I have to say they delivered the emotional factor. Which ultimately, I feel like right now I'm about to start crying right now because of how emotional that was. And then moving forward, which led to another part, which basically, if I were to do a top 10 moments list of Food Wars, I have to say this is the part 2 of that. The second part of it was seeing Soma actually do the unthinkable, challenge Itsuya to a Shokugeki in order to save the dormitory. But the way how he did it, though, is the way is this. Though Itsuya comes from, I already brought the judges. The Shokugeki's already destroyed. You can't really exactly challenge me, even if you're saying that your friends cried to help you out. But it turns out when he delivered the paper to him, it turns out he said this, I'm not doing it for the dorm mates or anything. I'm doing this it's for me. I will master my cooking in that dormitory, and I won't let you destroy that dormitory. So you will accept this challenge. And seeing the like moment of having him hold that paper in front of him with a determined look in his eyes. Apparently, yeah, I mean, there was like the sun gleaming, the sun like glaring from the windows right behind him, showing the look on his eyes, that face, that spirit. I can't believe that Soma, actually, at the time when I read that, Soma did the most unthinkable thing, actually challenged Itsuya Senpai to a challenge, to a Shokugeki challenge in order to save the dormitory, but not doing it for the dorm, not doing it for the dorm itself, or for his dorm mates, he's doing it for him. Like, I want to master my cookie in this dormitory, and you're not going to destroy that. But eventually, that Itsuya decides to officially accept the challenge, and which led to the whole school hearing about this, that Soma versus Itsuya and Shokugeki for the Pulsar dormitories, the demolition. So basically, of course, if Itsuya wins, the demolition will go forward, and if Soma wins, the dormitory is saved. But knowing the fact that Itsuya bought the judges beforehand, killing Shokugeki whatsoever, was only going to be impossible, but someone so determined, threw the gauntlet, and challenged Itsuya right at the get-go. As for... Okay, I want to point out a little small before I end this. I want to point out the small factor here that apparently Rindo Senpai comes in again when she knows about what's going on. She grabs Itsuya in a headlock, just like a full-fledged, full Nelson headlock, or just a headlock that's also crushing him. And trying to just drop them. She calmly talks to Soma again, like they usually do. And also totally, that little funny moment where there was relief. That moment where there was relief, and I didn't even expect it out of the anime then. Mostly in the sense of Itsuya, who didn't even expect her to come in at all. Which led to this little part of Rino said, do you think that your little stun with killing the Shokugeki was good enough to scare Soma? Yukiya Soma? All it did was just gave him rise to the challenge, eh? Hinting the fact that even Rindo basically knew that Soma, despite having the numerous impossible tasks in front of him, he would still rise to the challenge. No matter how daunting the challenge may be, he will still fight. Showing the fact that Soma is basically the major threat here to the Elite 10, basically, not just the Elite 10, but also to how Central's way his life is doing. And knowing for the fact that we all know what, if everyone else read the manga, we know exactly how it happens, but seeing how it all animates is what I'm waiting for next week. And while the Shokugeki is going on, Itsuya decides to send in a group of demolitioners, always evacuationers, on the way to evacuate the students from the dormitory students. And Itsuya and Shun was the first person to notice them, so we're going to also basically race against the clock for 3 hours in order to win the Shokugeki, in order to save the dormitory within that time. So next week's episode, the Alchemist is going to be, because we're going to see Itsuya's cooking for the first time, since for the majority of the time when the character was introduced, we never seen his cooking. He's mostly a guy who's mostly focused with the management side of cooking, not the actual cooking itself. He's nicknamed the Alchemist for a reason, so let's see. So most likely we're going to see the episode that solidifies his cooking style, or the way how he cooks, and they give him the nickname the Alchemist. But that's until next one. This episode definitely delivered in what I was expecting to be one of the most impactful moments, at least a driving force to make Soma the most biggest threat to Central, to Azami's social norms in the school now, to let him one of the most biggest Shokugekis that Soma had to go through in order to, not only prove a point, but in order to save the dormitory. The Pulsar dorm. And next week is the episode we're going to see the full match between Itsuya versus Soma. And things are going to get pretty much like, things are going to get a lot. There's going to be so much emotional factoring into this. So until next week, leave a like, subscribe, comment, with your little friend. Check out some new videos and all of my videos beforehand. And I'll see you all next time. Oh, before I also close up, I'm going to be working until 11 o'clock, and I'll be back until midnight. So unfortunately, Black Clover will not get an anime review just yet. At least not until hopefully the next weekend. I'll also do a double hitter for Tuesday. I'll do a double hitter for Black Clover episodes 6, 7, and 8 next week. So, look forward to that. Until then, I'll see you guys then. Laters.